The Turk in Italy is really, I think, a classic comic farce. We're in a small town in Naples, and there's a younger woman married to an older man, and she is really kind of the town favourite, you might say, and determined to have a good time. She lives life fully. She's having an affair with a young local, and then the Turk turns up, hence the title, in Italy, and throws many cats amongst many pigeons. As it happens at the same time, a crowd of gypsies turn up in town, and one of those gypsies is an ex-lover of the Turk's, so you immediately get a quadrangle set up with a fifth character in the middle, added to which the entire thing is kind of inside the idea that there is a character who's trying to write a comic play and can't resolve what the plot's going to be, so as the plot of the opera unfolds, his plot unfolds at the same time. When I'm doing a comedy, I always think it's probably best to try and bring the date to as close to a contemporary world as the opera will sensibly allow. Because I just think if audiences like a lot of comedies about recognition, so being able to kind of, it ups your gag quotient if you can play with things that visually they can respond to. There's something about the 50s where a kind of a sense of sexual propriety was still in the air, you know, still like a sense of how the people should behave nicely. So when they start behaving badly, the stakes are higher than they might be if it was 2014. And also the colours of the 50s strike me as like inherently witty and comic colours. Like if you put together the particular kind of contrasts of pastel oranges and pastel greens together, or that, you know, those pink and black bathrooms that inhabit the 50s, that seems to me to have comedy already embedded in it, so we were kind of interested in that idea. Well, there's a classic scene in the middle of Act 1 where the Turk has arrived. Fiorilla, the main female character, has met him on the beach and taken him home for coffee. And there's a really great sequence. Geronio enters and says to the poet who's writing the play and his friend Narciso, who he doesn't know is also his wife's lover, catastrophe, I've just seen my wife taking a Turk home. There's a beautiful little trio in which the poet starts talking about how perfect this is going to be for his play, and the husband and the lover get pretty irritated by the fact that the plot is connected to their own particular predicament. But then we flow into the scene in which Fiorilla is talking with the Turk. After a little while, the husband arrives, comes bursting in, and he says, "What's going on? Can I be part of this?" He's forced into a crazily compromised situation in which he has to kind of be polite to the Turk. And shortly after that, the lover bursts in and says to him, "Why are you being so polite?" And so you go from a duet to a trio to a quartet, and the action becomes increasingly kind of ridiculous as that situation develops.